you a young, talented, and skilled person? Are you hardworking? Or do you have an entrepreneurial X factor? Then Erizon is the place for you. Erizon is a first-of-a-kind video broadcast that showcases talented and skilled young people with amazingly impressive entrepreneurial X factors within. Whether through talent or brilliant ideas, at Erizon, we believe that you have the ability to inspire many people around the globe and effectively encourage them to use their God-given potential to transform themselves, their communities, and thousands of lives. This amazing show rotates around opening young minds to new ideas, chances, possible hobbies, and passions other than the everyday obvious life paths. To all that wish to be inspired, do not miss to catch this show, which airs every last Friday of the month on our YouTube platform, Erizon. Erizon is presented by eMoments.
Life is amazing. When you live once, you live life, you live pain, you live trash, and you live love.
Hi there, it's me again, Emily Sonyanakabuye from Erizon. Today I am with a FinTech innovator and he is going to introduce himself.
Yes, hello, my name is Gerald Ssebunya. I am co-founder of Kawu, Smart Mobile Money Services Limited.
So what is Kawu? Why Kawu? You know, it's a catchy name. Why?
So first you need to understand Kawu is a jargon that students use in schools.
Yeah.
To mean that dreadful period when you're out of money,
yeah,
no nothing. Though the students right now call it Kawu, yeah, but I mean us we call it Kawu and the guys they call it Kawu, and then in some other schools they call it Kayasi, Yala, but it's essentially the same thing.
Why? You say the students call it Kawu.
Yes,
Kawu.
Yeah.
So me, I'm a student, so I might just call it Kawu.
Yeah.
Why did they change the pronunciation? Did it like?
I think it's the generation.
The generation.
They want to make it sound a bit sleek.
Yeah,
Kawu,
modern.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you and your team come up with Kawu? The other names I do not remember, but I just got those two. How did you come up with it? What made you bring up the idea of starting such a FinTech product?
As we try to understand this, we have to first separate the name, Kawu, because that is a totally different thing. How we came up with the name, that is also an interesting story. But then the innovation itself, the problem itself, So we were doing a payment solution that enabled students in universities to buy stuff,
online.
Because, online, because we were in a bit of a remote university in Lira, so there was always that gap for students, trying to access vendors and products in the city, in the Lira city. So, but then you're doing one thing and then it leads to another thing. So in the process, while we're engaging with students, these university students, we realized that there is something that we had totally not thought about. And then all these things come in, financial inclusion, FinTech, this, that. So now we took a step back, and then we just got so captivated by this financial inclusion topic. So the more we delved into it, it kept leading us to what we call Kawu right now. So now we realize that students are due to institutional barriers against usage of mobile phones in this digital era. Students are unable to have financial records. And then we can see this is something that has really affected people of our generation. You're trying to do something, no financial institution knows you. You have no financial record. So while we started doing that, another thing came up, like, oh, hey, you know what? Students are unable to receive money directly because what? They don't have smartphone. Or just any mobile phone. So now we started building a solution to enable the students first
receive money
to
directly.
receive money. Okay. Then we learned that there's also a challenge of managing this money.
Pocket money.
Yes. So now we created the parent to child financial interaction model. Because here in Africa or Uganda really, our parents don't take the time to speak to us about finances.
managing money. They don't know. You just call some, I ran out of money because I used it on books, yet you didn't, and it's gone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now all these factors together came up with led us to a point of like, okay, I think we have a great solution here, but what are we going to call it? So now we started, coming up with names, and the first one was like, we're going to call it Jebuja.
Jebuja.
And then we're like, no, this is too Luganda, it is too long.
Why Jebuja?
Jebuja, because we were thinking about the future.
The future.
Yeah. So we get a student from about 12, and then we are thinking about their future. Jebuja Mumaso. But then, so one time, my co-founder Stephen calls me. It was December 27th, 2021. I remember it was just a few days after Christmas. So he calls me late in the night, about 2 a.m. Like, hey, something came up. I was talking to students here, and then they told me they call it Kawu. That period, like, yeah, but say no more. Go and register this. This is going to be it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then that's how we named it Kawu.
Okay, that's very excellent. As you can see, when was it that you started?
So the conception started about October 2021.
2021.
Yes. Then the name was on the 27th of December 2021. Then 2022 January 1st. That is when we wrote the first line of code. Like, we had done everything on paper, and
so it's been a year.
Yeah, it's been
a year.
15 months, you would say.
15 months.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when you wrote the first line of code.
Yeah.
You were part of the writing of the code.
Yes.
With Stephen.
Yes.
Okay, so you're two co-founders, or there are more?
We are two co-founders.
Okay, so what schools have you partnered with so far?
Well, I wouldn't call it partner, but more of like, offering the service.
Yeah.
Yeah. So currently we, so let me just tell you the whole journey. Yeah. Through the 15 months, we have made contact with over 400 schools. Yeah.
That's a good number.
But unfortunately, we have only managed to activate 65 of them.
So you're telling me 65 schools use your product?
Yes.
Okay.
And across the country.
Yeah.
Across the country. We are here in Kampala, then Wakiso, of course, Mukono. Then we've gone all the way to Jinja, across Tororo, Mbale. We are also in Lira and Nitiana. And we are also opening new ground in Imbarara. Yeah. I
feel like 65 schools is a very good number. Consider, okay, it's not the biggest number, not the best number, because schools are many. There are so many. There are over 100,000, something like that. But it's a very big number for a fintech that started 15 months ago. It's a big number.
Well, I think it depends on your goals. The ambition, So for us, we thought we are going to get 100,000 students in 2 months.
100,000 students.
Yeah. And then we only got like 500 in 2 months.
How many students collectively in these 65 schools are part of like your system?
Yeah, we are over 20,000 right now. Yeah.
Very good.
Okay. But we want to have 1 million students in 3 years.
In 1 million.
Yeah, so you can see how much work we need to do.
A lot.
Yeah, and the disparity between the reality and our code.
Okay, so let's say I, as a student, my school is working, or Kawu is offering a service to my school. How do I use it? How do I transact with Kawu?
Okay, this is very simple. So first, when the school gives us a go-ahead, and then we're in the school, we do student activation, where we register students. We take their name, take their picture, and then their parents' phone number. They create a PIN for the card, and then on the spot they get their card.
Yeah.
So now, once the student has their card, a little bit before that, at the point of registration, the system sends an SMS alert to the parents' phone number, informing them like, hey, Nakawiye from Namagunga has, activated a smart card.
Okay.
Follow this link for more details or call this number. Yeah. So now here at school, you can go to the agent. Yeah. So we also get agents, and usually agents are members of staff. So
it's like the BASA.
Yeah, BASA or any other cool teacher, students,
cool teacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Teachers who are always assisting the students with their mobile phones to call home. The guys who are always receiving money on behalf of students. So yeah, we identify them and make them our agents.
Yeah.
So now a student goes to this guy. We'll have a mobile application for the agents that they use like a soft point of sale. Yeah, they can scan and read information on the cards, and then they can do whatever the student needs to do. Do you want to do savings? Do you want to send money? No. Did you want to make a payment? Do you want to withdraw? You want to deposit? Those kind of things.
So using Kawu, can I go to the canteen and buy things?
Yeah.
With the card?
Yeah, in some schools.
In some schools.
Yes.
Why not all the schools?
So you realize, I don't know if you remember this, how we used to access canteens, and then we only have like 20 minutes of break on hour for lunch.
Yeah, I know that
so
everyone does.
So now imagine like everybody has to come, swipe the card, authenticate, think about what they want. It's a bit challenging.
What's your authentication?
So we take, a student inserts their PIN, that is at the canteen. But then when they're at the agent, remember the picture we took. Each time they scan your card, the first thing that pops up on the system is your picture. Yeah. So if I take your card to the agent, I'll not even get to the part of the PIN because the agent will take a look.
The picture, this is not you.
Kneel down, please. So, that is the thing. But then now there's this thing of swag, in the school. So we find that the swag is different in the schools. Yeah. So some guys are okay queuing up on the canteen, and then they can go through the process. Yeah. But then for some guys, it just can't work.
So they just stick to withdrawing.
Yeah.
Okay. So we want to know, what are the challenges you faced when you were starting up Kawu, and how do you overcome those challenges? Do you think it's become an easier process with you working and trying to achieve your goals, or somehow things just got harder?
I think as we grow, things get tougher.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then also in the process, our skin has thickened. Yeah, so we know that we are going to go out today and things are not going to go according to plan. So we're already in that mindset. Yeah, we know things are not going to go as we have planned.
Yeah.
So now the thing is, as innovators, we don't just stop at building, cool applications, but it's an attitude that gets us through our daily life. I have to find a solution for whatever, you start even imagining whatever might go wrong, and then you try to create scenarios where you have this solution. So when that thing happens, you already know you have to deal with it, okay? Yeah, so, but at the start, the challenge was more of validating the solution. Will these people think it's cool the way we think about it?
Yeah.
Will it make money? How are we going to make money? There's like a lot of things we didn't know, but fortunately for us, we reached out to Mr. Kawaya, CEO of High People, and then he walked that journey with us, sort of holding our hands, on call with us every week, trying to tell us, things that we need to look
opening
at.
your minds. Yeah,
and it was really an interesting, process.
Yeah. So which university did you study, and the course that you did?
So I was at Makerere University, Information Systems. That is what I did. However, my colleague Stephen Kakoza was in Lira University. So at the time I was working with the Lira University, I had founded something called Athena Girls Innovation Compound. Yeah, and just briefly, it was more like the women in FinTech. Okay. Yeah, but like in a different setting, different context. So that is how I came, in the innovation space of Lira University. Got in touch with Stephen Kakoza, and then we started building things.
So ideally, as a younger version of yourself, did you always want or picture yourself heading into financial technology, doing something that's related? Did you even know what financial technology was?
Well, I always find myself knowing a lot of things. Sometimes my mother tells me that I know a lot of things that I don't even need to know. But an interesting story, when I was in P5,
P5.
some
years.
Some white people, came to school, and then they were asking us what we want to be. So I wanted to be an astronaut. In P5.
Do you still want to be an astronaut?
If I had the chance, I would like to go to space. But of course, things have changed now. I live in a real world. Then in P7, I wanted to be a boss. And I remember my teacher was so hard on me. He's like, no, a boss is not a profession.
It's not a profession.
But that is what I want to be.
And it's very okay.
So I think I've always just a little bit.
You change. You don't have one thing set.
But then when I was done, with school, I was like, no, I want to be like Zuckerberg. I want to build, a company that's going to give jobs. I don't want to go and look for jobs. I want to be the guy, building jobs.
Aren't you giving jobs right now?
Yeah. A little bit, because we've been fortunate enough. We've managed to get 8 other people on our team, working with us. And then since we are not paying much, I can't say, we are really employing them. But,
okay.
We know a few years from now, we are going to be employing
a very big number of people.
So
you're still going to be a boss.
But I don't want to be a boss.
You don't want to be a boss.
I don't want to be a boss.
Okay. Okay. So to the youth that are watching us, what advice would you give them? In relation to starting up their dream jobs or entering into the space, what advice or word would you give them?
Usually, when people ask me this, I don't think I am in position, to give anybody advice or what. Because I'm also still in the learning phase. But something that I feel that has put me where I am is code.
Code?
Yes. You learn to code, you're going to learn a lot of things. So code is just like, how we learn mathematics. Or, back then it was a philosophy, logic, something like that. So now code is, the logic or philosophy of, back then.
Yes.
So it sort of tunes your mind in a certain way. So if you know how to code, these are things you're going to know. Like one, a guy will sit on his computer and make a car drive itself. Some guy is going to sit on a computer, write, some lines of code. And of course, they're not some lines of code.
They're not some lines, extraordinary things.
And then shoot a rocket in the sky. A guy wrote code, then I can communicate, with whoever I need to. Like thousands of miles across the ocean, but then we can talk in real time. So knowing that, it sort of tunes your mind in a certain way. Like impossibilities for you or for us are different, from somebody who doesn't know how to code. What I think of as impossible is different, way different from somebody who doesn't code. At least how I think about it. So please learn to code. And don't learn to code to become, an engineer or a developer. Just learn it. There are 5 skills you learn when you learn how to code. First, it is some sort of algorithmic thinking. Just process of doing things. So you always have that sort of process in your mind. Computational thinking. You start to think like a computer. So a computer, takes like a very big problem and then breaks it down
into very small.
So each time you're presented with a challenge,
problem.
You think of how do I start? Where do I start from? What can I take up that is easy? Who do I need? You learn teamwork.
Okay, so as we come to the conclusion of this episode, just 2 questions to clarify. For a school that might be watching and they want to join Kawu, what's the process? What's the process for you to offer your service to them?
So when a school, reaches out to us, of course, we head over there. We study, their environment. Then we sign, a contract with them. And then we identify the agent, and then we wait for a time when we can have student engagement. Yeah. So we see first we see if their canteens can support, the cashless payment, and then if not.
So they have to have like computers at the canteen?
No. It's
so
just about how the canteen is structured.
How the canteen is structured?
I really can't say, but when we see the structure, we know, and then also like the nature of the school, dictates.
So you said some schools have the payments at the canteen,
Yes.
and some don't.
Yes.
So what if the canteen doesn't like have the structure that you need for your system? Can't you have just the withdrawals for the students?
Yeah, that is what we do. If the canteen can support, then the students do withdrawals at the agent.
Okay, so for the school specifically, if it wants Kawu to be part of their school system to make things easier, what do they have to do?
Well, they just have to reach out.
To reach out to you. Yes. Where do they reach out from?
So they can go to our website, www.kawu.ug, and then all our information is there in the contact us section. They can write to us, they can call, they can WhatsApp us. All our information is there.
Okay. And lastly, I as a student, if my school is not part of Kawu, like the system is not part, but I want to use Kawu, what can I do? Is it possible?
Currently, we are unable to help those kind of students. If we are not allowed in the school, then there is no way we are able to help you do transactions, really.
Okay, thank you so much. I would like you to give the closing remarks for this episode before we finally close it.
Thank you very much for having me here. Once again, I invite you all to join us as we enable financial inclusion for all our students in the country.
Okay, thank you guys for watching this episode. And as you can see today, I was with someone who is a FinTech innovator. And I encourage you all, just like he said, to learn coding. And I also refer you to one of the previous episodes that was with Ariella Tendo. Yes, it will give you more key intel about coding. And I'd just like to remind you all to follow all our social media platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course YouTube at Erizon Light. Thank you so much. We love you. At Erizon, where you meet the sky.
Do not miss to catch this show, which airs every last Friday of the month on our YouTube platform, Erizon. Erizon is presented by eMoments.